All right, over here in Ecwid, if we go to shipping and pickup here, we're going to come across these different zones that are set up. And zone 1, if I click here and hit zone 1 and I scroll down, it shows that we're doing a zone on the map. We're defining this with the map. And if I click on it, I can see that we've drawn this region here that covers a certain amount of mileage from the center of the store. And then we've added a second area to correspond to capture in addresses that are kind of beyond the mileage because these folks had gotten the zone 1 pricing last year. So we didn't want to anger anybody, so we did that. So that's zone 1. And then if I go back and I look at zone 2 here and look at the region, you can see that so these areas are within more mileage, so there's going to be a different charge. But then we're kind of so there's no overlap. We're excluding this area again so that zone 1 and 2 have a relationship. Now this was used for all products, firewood and mulch, and the request has been to only do this for mulch, so that firewoods and soil and everything else should not exclude, and anybody truly without outside the range should get the proper zoning. And so I created, so if I go back here, I created a new zone 1 and a new zone 2, because 3, if I look at 3, let's just look at 3 really quick here and look at the region and scroll out. 3, 4, 5 are all the same. There's nothing excluding. We're just going on a certain mileage, and we're going to capture the addresses within here and charge that rate. And then the next one is bigger. This is 3, 4 will be bigger, and 5 will be out all the way out here. So it just affects zone 1 and 2. And so what I did was I created a new zone 1, and it's got a little tilde on there to designate the difference. And if you go to zone 1 here and hit edit zone, you can see we're not adding somebody in here. So that's zone 1 is normal in that regard, and zone 2. So I went and created another zone 2 that is not excluding either. I think it makes sense when you see that. So those are two additional zones. So now if I go back to our list of zones, these are all our zone options. Now going back over to products here, and one thing we can do here, let's only look at enabled. So now that I've got enabled and I go to A to Z, so if I go to mulch, the way this was set up, if I go to taxes and shipping on this particular product, the way it was set up is to use your store shipping method. So everybody was set to use the store shipping method, but you have this option where you can specify. And so I clicked on I went through all the products, and when you go through the products, you can see that these are the zones that will apply when somebody's checking out with this, but you can also add. And if I add, you can see that I have these additional zones that I could add, but I'm not using these because for mulch, we're going to use the ones with the asterisks. And then, so every product was set up just to use, let's go back. Let's look at the firewood here. So every product, if you hit taxes and shipping, it was set to use the global shipping methods. So I had to go through and switch over to here. And when you do switch over to here, you have no zones at all. And then you got to choose from the list. And you see all the lists that are in there, and you just add them as you want to. So you can see that these are the ones with the tilde are the ones that are the normal ones. And there's different ways I could have set this up, but I wanted to kind of quickly get this updated for new sales. And so that's it. That's what I did. And if you look at any of the mulch, again, if I hit chocolate dyed and I go to taxes and shipping, these are specified. So those are the ones. Again, that was my little code. And you can always double check that by going taxes and to go over here to shipping and pick up to see what zone asterisk versus zone tilde means. But if I go, hit like garden mix and taxes and shipping, so you can see that those are the two that are applying with the different region defined, and then 3, 4, and 5 are the same for everybody. So that's it. I just want to document how these changes were made and how we're applying different shipping rates depending on the product.